guys, it's Dana and it's time to talk about money. And in this video, I wanted to talk about the pioneer days and how we can save money mimicking how they lived. So let's get to it. Okay, so I've got some frugal tips for you from the pioneer days. And I did a video in the past talking about, the not so distant past, talking about the Great Depression, that was actually the second video on my channel about that. I did one years ago and then I kind of revised it. However, in the beginning of that video, I was talking about how I like to learn from my elders, people that I know at church, and somebody was like, you know, nobody who lived in the Great Depression is still alive today. And I 100% know that. And basically what I was trying to say is that I like to learn from people who've lived in the past or who are older than I am. And so obviously no one is still living at the moment who lived during pioneer days. However, we have lots of accounts of people who did in written form. This is from the 1800s. Okay, this is the time period that we're talking about, back in the 1800s, and things that they did to live more frugally, things that we can do as well to help save money. So first, preserving food for the winter months. If you are into gardening, which I have very recently become extremely interested in, I have blackberry bushes in our yard. So if you grow fruits over the summer months, then you can save those and you can preserve them to eat them throughout the winter months. This definitely saves money if you can do that, because buying fruit in grocery stores in the winter is expensive and probably not really that healthy. I feel like those fruits, the state that they're in is not the best. So it'll be tastier and healthier if you can get into preserving. And there are a plethora of videos on YouTube that you can watch teaching you how to do that. Making everything from scratch. Back in the early 1800s, they did this. They didn't really have much of a choice, but if you can cut back on pre-packaged foods and also cleaning products and start making your own breads or your own cleaning supplies. I have a bunch of recipes on my blog about how to do that, but anything that you can do simply and DIY it, make it on your own from scratch, it will save you money. Next is using every single part of your animal product that you're eating. I don't eat animal products. I'm plant-based, but if you do, then you should eat every single piece of it, all of it, eat up everything that you have, so that nothing goes to waste, basically is what this is. So any food items that you have, like try to finish them, finish the leftovers. You can freeze things and then thaw them out, reheat them, but just minimize the amount of waste. And it will, again, and then also like shampoo bottles, my husband can't stand this, but like when we have a shampoo bottle and it gets down to the bottom, I will add water to it and shake it up. That way it'll squeeze out of the bottle, and so that I can use up every last drop of that bottle. Like I don't like to waste it. I don't like to, he would throw it out with just like this much left in the bottom, but I just feel like, why do that? I can still keep using it. Like, so any kind of hand soap, shampoos, I just add in, like I said, water and that way it'll come out when you squeeze the bottle, and then I can use it completely up. And that does save us money. Bartering. So pioneer days, they used to do a lot of swaps, and you can still do this now. Like you can actually go on Facebook or, in your local community, you can offer a service to them, and then they might provide you a meal in turn. But you can swap things with people. You can go on to, like I said, to Facebook or websites. You can go and you can do swaps. Like I've got this, they've got that, and then you guys can switch. So if you've got old baby products, maybe you no longer need certain things, baby blankets, or if you have a cloth diaper stash, this is the best. So we cloth diapered 3 out of our 4 kids, and there's a lot of diaper swaps. So if you're finished cloth diaper and your baby is growing and you have newborn cloth diapers, there might be someone else who needs those cloth diapers. So you can give them the cloth diapers, and maybe they can give you something that you're in need of. So if you can look for that, it will save you money. And like I said, it's something that they used to do. Building and repairing their own homes. So this is, maybe your skill level is not where it's at to repair your own oven or dishwasher or whatever's breaking in your home. However, you're on YouTube right now, and there again are so many YouTube videos. I watched a YouTube video at one time. There was some kind of like heating element that like needed to be replaced in the back of our oven, and we pulled out the oven, watched a YouTube video, purchased the product. It was like, I don't know, like $5 on Amazon, and I went in and I replaced it following a YouTube video, and it fixed our oven. It worked again. So there's definitely ways to, I mean, you want to be safe, you know, be careful. You don't want to electrocute yourself, but there's ways to discover solutions to problems without necessarily hiring someone. So before you jump to picking up the phone and calling a repair person, maybe see if there's something that you can do on your own to fix it, whatever it may be in your house. So lots of things do break around the home, and there's definitely inexpensive ways to do it on your own, or to perhaps maybe you'll discover that you have someone, your neighbor might know how to do it, and maybe you can ask them in exchange for delivering them or a home cooked meal or something. I mean, again, back to bartering. So there's ways to do it more inexpensively than hiring someone. Thrifty clothing practices. Okay, so we've talked about clothes before on my channel. I like to shop at thrift stores, Goodwill. If I do buy clothes at all, I really, again, wear clothes way longer than I probably should. I still do have 2 pairs of jeans that I wore in college, maybe even high school, but they're not ripped. They're totally fine. And like, I can still fit into them. So I'm just going to hold on to them. I'm not going to get rid of them. So, but if something, you have a little tear, maybe you can, pick up, a needle and thread and try to sew it up or patch it. There are some super cool patches out there. So anyway, there's some things you can do with your clothes to try to extend the life of them. Also not drying them as much in your dryer, maybe hang them up to dry, and care for your clothing a little bit more so that they don't, wear out as quickly. So just trying to be diligent with the care practices that you have, or intentional with your clothing, so that way you can hold on to them for longer. So pioneer families did not have the luxury of excess. So they lived minimally, they just had what they needed. And again, I've talked a lot about how being frugal goes hand in hand with minimalism, in my opinion. And so if you can try to reduce the amount of stuff that you have, that certainly is the way pioneer families lived, because they just didn't have, it wasn't available, first of all, to really get a lot of luxury items, or it was extremely expensive. So maybe try to cut down on some of those items and live more simply. Oh, and let me say here, this doesn't mean that you're giving up quality. All right, so I think that you can have quality items over quantity. So you can still have some things that you really love and maybe are a little expensive, but if you have less of them, then, I mean, over having a whole bunch of stuff, that's really what I think is important to point out. So quality over quantity. So homemade entertainment. So things you can do at home, hosting a game night. I've said before, we do lots of game nights in our family. Kids play D&D with my sister and my brother-in-law. They do that once a week. And so if you can do some things at home, try to minimize your costs as far as going out. Just have dinners at home or dinners at friends' houses, or like I said, card games are fantastic. They're so fun. Or board games. I mean, there's a lot of kids. I'm surprised the kids joined a board game club at school, and there was a lot of kids who had never played, had never even heard of Clue. They'd never even heard of the game. And I was like, what? So, so start playing some of these old school board games with your family, because it might be true that they don't even know what they are. They've never played them before, and they're so fun. So bring out Monopoly. That's a great game for learning about money. So bring back the board games, yo. Like, come on. So the pioneer days, or the frugality of the pioneer days, I think really helps to, if we embrace that kind of mindset, helps to teach us about resourcefulness, trying to figure things out for ourselves. I think that's an excellent skill to model to our children before we just are like quick to call people to help or do things for us. So it just helps with creativity. It really helps to develop a lot of other skills other than just saving money. And so in that regard, I think that it's, or maybe do a challenge, like try for a month to try some of these practices and see how much money you can save and maybe what you can learn out of the process as far as learning how to sew a button onto a jacket that has fallen off and not being so quick to run out to the store and purchase something new to replace something that has ripped or broken. So it's like I said, maybe a good challenge to try. It's always great, I think, to be challenging ourselves to evolve and grow and learn. Okay, now, if you want to watch that video where I talk all about how to be frugal using tips from the Great Depression, you go ahead and click that here, and if you do, I'll see you there. And I do think I'm going to do a few more of these videos, kind of like a series on my channel, because I find it super interesting. So I think next we might talk about the 1970s, so I have some ideas for that. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.